Action for today. Hold on a second. Let me get this down. Is where am I? I apologize. I'm all over the place right now. Is energy. There we go. Over here. Energy. See it? Part of the reason I wanted to bring up oil first before we go into the stocks, because this is a big this is, I mean, this is the telltale sign. This is the real story. Remember the last time I was talking, I was saying, man, we're fighting this line right here, right? The blue and then the dotted. This is the all-time high for, well, the it feels like the all-time high, but it's the all-time high for a few years, right? Let's go 10 years, months, right? So when we're talking about the last time it's done anything, this was in October, well, June to October of 18 was the last time we were anywhere close to 70. And before that point, we basically crashed below. I mean, just, I know there's millions of lines on this monthly chart. It's a little difficult. Bear with me. Remember, blue line, dotted line. This is where we are, right here. This line right here. So when we first broke into this, like basically underneath this line and been fighting this line, was November of 2014. So we're looking 7 years ago. That's why for me it feels like an all-time high, since decently invested in the oil sector for my personal living. And yes, I have felt every bit of this 7 years. So as you see, we got rejected in 2015. Broke above a little bit in 18, but then got rejected again in 18. And now that brings us back to now. So when we're looking at our 4 day or our daily chart, remember this is the last that's been here was 2018. Before then, 2014. This number hasn't stayed above this really since 2018. So we're like 2 years now for it to hold this line. I mean, there's been some nasty days. Like this was a nasty day, nasty day, nasty day, nasty day, right? But it's pretty much holding this 50 and letting the 100 come up, right? I would look for this to break out of the 67.98. And if it does, and it has to hold the 66.77. If it does get out of the way of oil has finally shifted, right? It's taken what, 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, give or take, whatever. If it can hold this 66, everything on these charts change, and oil now is back in favor. And watch out. And then you're going to start hearing news talking about how many jobs oil provides and all this other stuff. Like for years now, the news has been just how negative oil is. If it starts heading up, once it holds at 66, right, 66.77, you're going to hear people start talking about how great oil is and how it's the savior for the economy. It's given all these new jobs, all this new stuff. And then that's going to project it even higher, right? It has to break this 66.77 and hold it, though. If it doesn't do that and hold it, you won't hear it. But if it does it and it holds it, you're going to start hearing different news about oil and how great it is for the economy and bring in jobs and all that kind of good stuff. All right. With that being said, let's jump into our sector. Um, Again, like I said, almost every last one of these stocks has to do with the price of oil. That's why we talked about oil first, right? Now let's go Valero. Let's see the ones that are, I don't know. This looks decent. Watch out. We got earnings on the 22nd. See, with oil, it's weird. Their earnings and their dividends are always 3 months behind, if that makes sense. So, at least with my company. So, because it takes a long time to really cap everything. So, what, 3 months? The earnings is April, so January, 3 months before that. So, we're really kind of looking at October, November, what they did in that, and that's their earnings that they're going to basically report. Just because it's difficult to report, like with oil, because they got to calculate everything. I could be wrong, but for my experience with my personal, or not my personal, my family oil company, they're usually about 6 months behind. So this report will be like November, December, January, not March, April, May, right? If that makes sense. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. We're holding this. We're not. The 50. We're been hovering around the 50. Momentum starting to shift. I enjoy this. I'm gonna tack this. All right. I'm not gonna look any further, but we're gonna say VLO just because look, we've also when a day when all the rest of them look over here were basically red. Valero was green. And it was green decently. We got VLO Poten Shao. Hold on. Dog's barking. Someone could be at the door, which means I would have to pause this video. What? Yep. I gotta pause this video. Someone is at the